Hi, good afternoon, everyone. It is Sunday, July 7th, and it's about 12:20 p.m. here in Chicago. So I want to speak on the fights last night. But before I speak on the fights, I wanted to salute Dante's Boxing Nation. Because he didn't post it. It was too embarrassing. He didn't even want to post it. But he talked about that clown, Bill Haney, who decided to go live and talk about how he didn't want to kick a man while he's down and he hopes he gets help. He's talking about Ryan Garcia, the man who, decided to make a very disgusting and racist rant against black people and decided to say a disrespectful comment to Muslims. He decides to go and pretty much give everyone a pass to say that, Ryan Garcia just needs help. Don't kick him while he's down. This is Bill Haney who did that. And Dante is right. The reason why he did it is because he doesn't give a shit about anybody else but his son. And now we see it more and more clearly. And the only thing that I'm upset about is that I always knew he was exactly what he is. The only thing I'm upset about is I let people convince me that he was not what I thought he was. But he's exactly what I thought he was. He's a clown who will say anything to get on camera. After that racist rant that he premeditated, Champ's side showed us the blueprint of it coming, because at first he tried it out on a few black dudes who were dumb enough to do it. So there's the blueprint right there. And then he did it himself. Just like he premeditated, cheating your son and gaining all type of popularity behind that. But you're worrying about not kicking him while he's down? Somebody in the comments said he's a company man. Absolutely he is. And not only him, these channels that love going in on everybody else because they don't have the utmost opinion about Devin Haney as a fighter. If any boxer who wants to challenge Haney, any boxer who has beef with Haney, they can make a million videos about that. The young ones and the old ones. But when it's something that matters, like Bill Haney making this damaging comment, nobody has anything to say. It's crickets. So Bill Haney's not the only company man. What if this had been Shakur? Can you imagine? They got all kind of nasty little nicknames they call Shakur. What if this had been Shakur who said that? But now they don't have anything to say because they're a bunch of phonies. They're not going to speak on it because they want you to respect who they respect and not respect who they don't respect. It has nothing to do with right and wrong. And I hope you guys see that. Bill Haney pretty much just came on live and gave everyone a pass to say that Ryan Garcia needs help and don't kick him while he's down. That's what he did. That's what everybody runs when somebody attacks us. That's what everybody uses. And Bill Haney just used it too because his son's not directly affected, He's talking about he don't want to kick a man while he's down. The only man who's down is your son. Have you checked social media? The overall social media about this thing? Nobody cares that Ryan Garcia cheated, and nobody cares that Ryan Garcia made racist comments. The only people who care are the people who we didn't expect to care, but they don't want to speak on that. Tank and his entire team condemned it, And Mayweather said he's not going to speak on it, which I respect. I had said the other day, even though I was talking to Tank, if you're not going to say anything sensible, don't say anything. So at least Mayweather's not going to speak on it. And I'm not mad at that because it was so, what Ryan Garcia did was so filthy, it speaks for itself. But again, Bill Haney had to get on camera and be seen and say, I don't want to kick. He looks so stupid. That man is a fool. That man is an idiot. And again, imagine if Mayweather said what he said. Imagine if Gary Antoine Russell said what he said. Since you guys want to make little jokes about him and everything else, but you showed your true colors with this one. And again, it's the young ones and the old ones. A bunch of dummies have nothing to say because it's Bill Haney. Just because it's Bill Haney, they don't even have the sense. See, these guys, they got all these supporters, right? That should show you what they really think about you. because when it's Bill Haney, they're not going to come clean with you. They're not going to make a video and say, now listen, I rock with Bill Haney, but that shit he said was foul. I don't know where that came from. You know, they'll tell you something was said behind the scenes. But for everybody else, it got to be front and center. You know what I mean? Again, I'm going to say it again. Imagine if Gary Antoine Russell said that. Imagine if Shakur said that. Imagine if Tank said that. Imagine if Mayweather said that. Imagine if B-Hop said that. You know, there'd be lives and videos for hours and hours and hours. But Bill Haney said it. And they don't have any respect for you as supporters to come out and say, okay, I have to address this. You guys better pay attention to what's going on. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And again, what pisses me off the most is that Bill Haney is exactly what I always thought he was. A no good for nothing clown. A clown who just gave everybody a pass to let Ryan Garcia pretty much get away with it, because we're not supposed to kick him while he's down, and the people around him, let's hold them responsible, the people around him, and let's just hope he gets help. That's him in a nutshell, that clown Bill Haney. Thank you, Donte's Boxing Nation, for calling that out. And Donte didn't even want to post it. Donte didn't even want to post it. Unbelievable. The blueprint was there on Ryan Garcia. He's been wanting to do this. And again, thanks to Champside for pointing it out. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But let's get to these fights. O'Shaquie Foster. They cheated that man so bad it ain't even funny. That's one of the worst robberies. Unbelievable. That is one of the worst robberies I've seen in a while. That is just horrible. Just horrible. And there needs to be an investigation as to, you know, how they can even do something like that. They can't play with people's lives like that. You can't play with people's lives like that. And I like Rosen Conceição. That man did not win maybe one round. He had nothing for Foster. And they handed this man the win. Like, judges cannot get away with that. Like, they need to do a severe investigation into that. You know, but they're gonna get away with it, just like they got away with it with Fox, you know. And there are a bunch of boxers who get cheated like that, but you know, a lot of them go unseen, and it's terrible. It's terrible. They need judges for the judges at this point. They need judges for the judges. There's no way that decision should be able to stand. It has nothing to stand on. Nothing at all. It has nothing to stand on. Unbelievable. And then, you know, let's go back to Abdullah Mason. That was a really, really good job by Abdullah Mason against LeBron. Unbelievable. That guy is so good. So good. And I'll talk about what else he had to say in a minute. So congrats to Abdullah Mason. Let's get to Keyshawn. Keyshawn is my boy, and I'm so glad he was able to, you know, it really show his skill in his fight. He does do awkward things every now and again. Like Keyshawn, he's weird. He does like little weird things that you're wondering why he chose to do it. Like, you know, like even like there were a lot of times where he was fighting dudes fight when he didn't have to. He was so many levels above this dude, and he was able to show it several times. He was able to show several times that he was levels above this dude. But he would do things like, you know, get against the ropes and stay there too long and let dude at least try to fire off on him. Like Keyshawn, he takes a lot of like crazy risks like that, but he still outclassed this guy, and I was still impressed with his performance. And you know, Keyshawn is my boy, so salute to Keyshawn for that. And so then we got to let me see. Oh, I already talked about Foster, because then we got to O'Shaquie Foster. They cheated him really, really bad, and there needs to be an investigation into why the judges, you know, were paid off to do that, or just decided to do that. You know, who was behind them doing that? They need some kind of council to oversee these judges, you know, and it needs to be maybe a council of just random people, a council of people representing, you know, several cities, or you know, something, a council of people who have nothing to gain but wanting to see people get judged fairly, you know. But they'll never do that. They want to leave it up to the judges because they want to be able to do things like this. Now let's get to Shakur. Shakur is catching a lot of heat behind this fight. A lot of heat behind this fight because Shakur he doesn't want to get hit. To him, getting hit, and I'm not talking about whether or not it hurts. I'm just talking about landing something on him, period. Shakur does not want to get hit because in his mind, getting hit is a sign of not having the tightest defense. So Shakur finds it hard to make his way into doing both, which is, having the tightest defense and, taking more risks at getting touched and making for a more exciting fight. And I'm not mad at him about it because, I consider myself a very mature person when I watch a fight. I can appreciate a fighter like Shakur Stevenson, but a lot of people, that's just not what they want to see. It's just not. So I feel bad for Shakur. I'm a huge Shakur fan. I feel bad for him because nobody wants to see it and nobody cares, how good he is and how hard it is to get at him. That doesn't mean anything to anybody. And it's sad because a lot of people, who I would have expected to appreciate this, they don't. And maybe it's necessary for Shakur to get attacked like that so that he can kind of change his style up and find a way to take more risks without, really risk, getting hit. Because again, he doesn't want to get hit. It's not about him not wanting to get hurt. He doesn't want to get hit, period. He wants to have, pretty much the tightest defense any man has ever seen. That's important to him, And so he really won't take a lot of risks. And he makes sure that he makes sure he lands his punches, but they're not as exciting as they could be. You know what I mean? So, I can't tell people what to expect from him. I can't tell people what style of fight to like or what style of fighter to like. But I was happy with his performance, and I'm glad that I had said before the fight in several chats, I said I don't think he needs a knockout. I think he just needs to separate himself and show his level versus his opponent's level. That's all I need from Shakur. But unfortunately, this isn't what everybody wants to see. And so I see people dragging him. And, it's no different than with Devin Haney. All the Haney fans used his past performance to, make an argument as to, why Haney didn't need to fight him. They do the same thing with Tank, They use this and run with it and say, this is why Tank doesn't need to see him. But we already know how that goes. But anyway, so I'm proud of Shakur. Congratulations. But he does need to find a way to please the crowd. He just has to. He needs to find a way to please the crowd. And you saw his grandfather, definitely wanted him to do more. So there was a little bit of tension in the corner. Not a lot, but, Shakur was a little annoyed with his grandfather for a minute there. But it wasn't anything serious. Yeah, I think that he has to devise a plan where he can manage to please the crowd and keep his, his style that he admires so dearly, and he really should, in my opinion. But yeah, he's getting dragged, but I can see why, even though I disagree. But salute to Shakur, and I'm really pleased that he got the win. And I saw that Frank Martin had the nerve to post Z's. Frank Martin, you got slept. You can't say nothing, and you avoided Shakur. So you can't say nothing. And I like Frank Martin, but Frank Martin, you are the last person to come on social media and say anything. Matter of fact, I'm surprised you woke up at this point. So, I mean, you get in the ring with Shakur. How about that? And then you make him fight. Make him fight a different type of fight. Make it exciting. Since you want to post people going to sleep. The only one who went to sleep was you. But anyway, that's all. Have a good day, everyone.